I'm about to say something pretty controversial. You do not need more clients for your creative business, whether it's photography, videography, I don't care. And I know that's nuts because everyone's telling you send 100 emails a day and DM all these different brands and send this script and all this different stuff. Everyone's telling you to get more clients. You are constantly coming to the end of the month and you're like, I need more clients. I need to find somebody else so I can pay the bills for this month. I would highly encourage you following this 4-step process. If you already have clients, you don't need more. You actually need to do something different, and I'm about to explain that in this video. But before I do that, just a quick disclaimer. If you do not have any clients or you have like one client, then you definitely need to focus on getting clients, and there's ways that you can do that. I've talked about them in previous videos. I'm going to continue talking about them in future videos as well, or you could check the link below and we can chat about ways in which you can do that. This is for you if you have 3, 4, 5, 20, 50 clients and you feel overwhelmed. This video is for you. So there's this common myth that more clients equals more money. And I guess it's not a myth because it is technically true. You get another client and you charge them more money, then obviously you're making more money, right? But there's actually way better ways to make money. I'm gonna go over those in just a minute. But before I do that, let me kind of retract and say why the mindset of like, oh, I need to get another client. I need to get another client, which is the freelance struggle. Everybody in freelance is like, oh, I just feel like I'm constantly spinning my wheel trying to get the next client. That should not be how it is, and let me explain why. In trying to find a new client all the time, you're actually doing not only yourself a disservice, but you're also doing clients a disservice. Because why? So you only got 24 hours a day, you got 7 days a week, you got 4 weeks a month. You have a finite amount of time. Say you have one client. That means you can dedicate your working hours to that client, which means that you're going to get them potentially better results because you're doing more work for them, because you're putting more time and attention and strategy and all that kind of stuff into the videos or the photos that you're creating. And therefore, they will likely get better results because they have more of your attention. Now you add a second one on. Well, now you're split focus. So you have your first client and your second client. And now all of a sudden, you're only spending half of your time on this client. You'll still probably get great results, but you're not going to be spending as much time. Now you add a third. Now you have a third of your time to get devoted to this client. Now, say you have 10 clients. Now you only have a 10th of your time devoted to each client, which you probably can still get pretty good results. But again, you're not going to get the results you would get if you were focused solely on that single client. In essence, as you scale out, as you get more clients, you are actually lessening the quality of your service if you don't implement some certain things that I'm going to be talking about here in just a second, which means you have to charge less because now your service is not actually as valuable as it maybe once was before because you're not getting the same kind of results, and it's a hamster reel. So now instead of charging one client $3,000, now you're charging 3 clients $1,000. So you tripled your work, but now you're getting the same amount. And this is what so many people do because they just think they need to get more clients. But there's a better way, and let me explain exactly what that is. So step number 1 of this entire process is not to get more clients, but to actually fire clients that you already have. What do I mean by that? I know it's nuts. Like, we should be getting more clients because it means more money, right? No, you need to do an analysis of your business and look and see, okay, which clients, the 20% of the clients that are bringing me the most revenue. Oftentimes you'll find that there's maybe 2, 3 clients out of the 10 that you work with that are bringing the vast majority of your revenue, 70, 80% of your revenue. And the rest of them are taking a lot of time, but they're not actually bringing much money for you, which means that the 20% that are, we need to double down and we can maybe find ways to bring more value to them. And the other ones, which we're not necessarily making much off of and are taking a lot of our times, are clients that we could either pitch a higher level service or we could in effect fire them. So as an example, say a client is paying you $500 a month, your highest paying client is paying you $3,000 a month. That $500 client a month is a similar amount of work to the $3,000 one, but we're only making $500. So therefore, it doesn't really make sense for us to keep somebody because that's taking a lot of our bandwidth. So we could either up pitch them to a higher service, or we could fire them and say, hey, we're raising our prices. We're only offering this service now. If you're interested in going for it, then great. Like, I'd love to talk to you about it, but unfortunately we're discontinuing this level of service. And basically that's how you fire a client. Yes, you're going to lose some revenue on the beginning, but it's worth it in the long haul. Focus the majority of your time on those 3 to 4 clients that are actually bringing the most revenue. So now that we have analyzed our business and we found, okay, what are the 20% that are bringing the most revenue, and we've kind of fired the rest of the clients, now we go on to step 2, which is not how we get more of those clients, because we can actually optimize those clients that we already have. How do we take the clients that we already have and make them more valuable? Now, there's two main ways to do this. Either you can make the client more money, or you can give them more time. So if you make them more money, that's things like making more ads for them, making better ads for them, making higher converting ads for them. Or number two is save them time. So saving them time would be like, okay, what are some content needs that they have that they're currently doing themselves, or maybe they have someone else doing them, but they're not doing very well. They know they should be doing them, but they're like, oh, it takes too much time, so I can't do it. So like, for example, posting consistently on social media, they just don't have the content, they don't have the time to create the content, and it's just, they don't have enough time. So what we can do is we can save them the time of having to do that themselves by pitching them a service that upsell from what we're currently doing that allows them to save the time but also get the content. So again, we're either making them more money or we are saving them time. Those are the two ways that we can increase our value for the brand. What would make sense for each of those, say 3 or 4 clients that we have kept, and what would bring them the most value? At that point, once we know that, that's what we can pitch. You could say something like, hey, I've noticed that you guys haven't been like super consistent on your social media. I know that's a focal point that you guys really want to go after. So what if I kind of gave you a way to be very consistent on that? You guys don't have to do any of your own content creation. You don't have to come up with the ideas, none of that. Basically just give me a direction. I'll create it for you, save you tons of time, and it'll increase your engagement. Would that make sense for you guys? Most of the time, they're not going to be like, no, that doesn't make any sense. They'll at least entertain the idea. And if they're already paying you and having a good experience with you, then of course, they'll probably be interested in actually having that conversation. Here's where it gets really interesting. So a lot of times photographers, videographers, whatever, will have a one-time client, meaning that you'll do the shoot and it's over. And maybe they'll hire you next year or something like that, but it's kind of just a one and done client. How can we think of ways where we can take that service that we just thought of and we can productize it? There's 2 ways that you can sell yourself as a business. You can sell a product or you can sell a service. So a product is something that is physical, something you can touch, you can taste, you can smell, etc. Like most brands are selling products. So like shirts or edibles, they're physical products. The other side is services. So these are things that are intangible. Something like, I'm mowing your grass. That's a service. Or, I'm taking pictures for you. Again, that's a service. They're not buying a physical product unless they're maybe buying a print or something, but they are buying a service that you're providing for them. The trick is, how do you take this service over here that's kind of intangible, that we can't really assign like a real tangible value to, and make that service into a product, meaning that we can sell the same thing over and over and over again, and it's not different, it's not custom all the time. That doesn't mean we can't do custom stuff, but it means that we can have a base level of like, we're going to do this every single time and we know exactly what it is. So a lot of photographers, videographers might call what I just said a package, meaning that somebody buys a product or a package and they know exactly what they get every single time. It's not going to be custom, it's going to cost the same amount every time. Even better, for brands or for resorts, you can actually take your one-time fee of like, hey, I'll shoot 20 brand photos for you and turn this into a monthly retainer. So now all of a sudden, say you charge $2,000 for your brand photos. Now all of a sudden, instead of a one-time $2,000 fee, it's $2,000 plus $2,000 plus $2,000 plus $2,000, and you have them on retainer for multiple months, meaning they have a consistent flow of content, which either is consistently making them money or consistently saving them time. At least it's consistently saving them time, and you have the consistent inflow of money that you don't have to worry about. So again, we're not stressing month to month, but now we have retainer clients where we can kind of rely on them to almost give us like a salary. So that is how you turn your service into a product. And you do what's called an offer. So I'll do another video all about how to create offers. In fact, I'm going to do a video about the 2 that I would create right now that I don't see many people doing at all. And if you do it, like, you basically can print money. That's going to be in a future video. But right now, just think big picture that we want to create some sort of offer. So a lot of people will stop there because they've turned their product into a service, into a package. They've charged on a monthly retainer. They have their 3 to 4 high-level clients that are willing to pay that, but they're like, okay, I can't charge these people anymore. I can't upsell them anymore. They just don't have the capacity to do it, so I actually need more clients. Check this out. Before you go out and you try to send 100 emails and you try to pitch your services to cold traffic, people that don't know who you are, what if you did it this way? You made your product so good, it saved them so much time, or it made them so much money, and they are so pleased with it that they cannot help but tell their friends. You're working for a company, it's a t-shirt brand. Typically, people who own e-commerce brands will know other people who own e-commerce brands that also need similar services to what you have. So if you make something so good that they would actually tell their friends that, hey, this guy did an amazing job, I would highly recommend hiring him because he just did this for our business. All of a sudden, you have an invisible hand doing marketing for you. for free, by the way. You don't have to spend your time sending emails. You don't have to spend your money doing ads or like cold outreach or any of that stuff. You have done something so good that somebody actually wants to recommend you, and you're not forcing them to. You're not like, hey, can you send me a recommendation? You're actually just doing it with the results that you have. Instead of having to spend half of your time out there doing outreach, trying to find clients, your clients are actually finding clients for you because they're going to have such great results that they'll talk. People talk, right? It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. So it may as well be good. They're going to go out, they're going to get the business for you. You're going to start getting inbound leads, which means that you can spend less time on your outbound, more time getting results for the current clients that you do have and making more money for them, saving them more time, which in turn makes you more money, which in turn brings you more inbound leads. And ultimately, that's the reverse psychology way of actually getting clients. So I know no one talks about this, but this is literally how I've built my business. Most of my business is off of referrals at this point from projects I've done 4 years ago or 3 years ago, where clients will just come back and they'll refer someone else. And ultimately, I don't do much outbound anymore because most of it comes inbound. And you don't have to have a huge social media following to make this work. You just have to have great results, great work. That's pretty much it. So if you like this video, definitely go ahead and hit the like and also the subscribe button so you can see more creative business tips. We're dropping 2 of these a week, every single week. And I have a bunch of videos lined up, so you're not going to want to miss them. Also, if you need help with your creative business, if you are stuck on getting clients or you're stuck on building a system, kind of what I just talked about, check the link below, schedule a time to chat with me or my team, and we can jump on a call and see how we can get you to a point where you're getting clients consistently and getting more work as a photographer, videographer. If you want to travel photography, great. If you want to work for brands, great. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.